Before mankind walked the earth, before a single human drew breath, there was heaven, a kingdom of unimaginable beauty, a realm where light knew no rival, where sorrow had never been felt, where death had never cast its shadow. Its streets blazed with glory, its skies echoed with worship, its citizens were beings of light, beings of power, angels, created for worship, created for glory. Every creature existed in perfect harmony with its creator. At the center of that eternal kingdom stood a throne, the throne of the Creator, and around it gathered countless angels, beings created to reflect the glory of God. Among them was one unlike the others, brilliant, exalted, beautiful beyond description, the pride of heaven itself. But beauty can become vanity, honor can become pride, and a single thought can change eternity. For before sin entered earth, it first appeared in heaven, and before mankind faced temptation, an angel dared to challenge the throne of God. Now, this is the story of the fall of Lucifer. Before a single page of the human story had been written, there was another kingdom, heaven, a realm of perfect order, perfect beauty, perfect peace, and at its center stood the throne of God, the source of all authority, the source of all life, the source of all glory. From every corner of heaven, worship rose, every voice united, every heart aligned, every eye fixed upon the throne. There was no jealousy, no division, no conflict, only harmony. The kingdom of heaven was filled with mighty beings, cherubim, seraphim, and hosts beyond number, created to serve, created to worship, created to reflect the glory of their Creator. Among heaven's mightiest servants was Michael, the great prince, defender of God's kingdom, commander of heaven's armies, faithful, unshaken, strong. There was Gabriel, messenger of the Most High, bearer of divine decrees, a servant trusted with heaven's greatest announcements, and among heaven's greatest servants, one stood closest to the center of its glory. His name was Lucifer, meaning the morning star. Prophet Ezekiel would later describe him as the seal of perfection, adorned with precious stones, gifted with beauty and innate musical capabilities. The anointed cherub. He was placed directly over the hosts of heaven. He lacked nothing: honor, authority, beauty, wisdom. Everything a created being could desire had already been given to him. Yet his greatness was never his own. Every gift, every honor, every beauty flowed from the throne he served. Like the moon reflects the light of the suns, Lucifer reflected the glory of God. And Lucifer served, not as an enemy, not as a rebel, but as one of heaven's most honored servants, a guardian of God's kingdom, a servant of God's throne, a reflection of God's glory. And for ages beyond counting, heaven remained exactly as it had always been, perfect, glorious, unshaken. But even the brightest star can forget where its light comes from. Then one day, his gaze lingered, not upon the throne, not upon the Creator, but upon himself. For the first time, he became captivated by his own splendor. His attention turned inward. He began to marvel at the greatness he possessed. He saw himself through the eyes of those who honored him. He considered his own glory, and the more he looked, the more difficult it became to look away. A thought had appeared, small, almost harmless, yet dangerous enough to shake eternity. Pride, prophet Ezekiel said, "Your heart became proud on account of your beauty." Pride did not remain a thought. It grew, quietly, patiently. What began as admiration became desire, and desire became entitlement. For the first time, Lucifer looked upon the throne and wondered why it belonged to another. The glory he had once reflected, he now desired for himself. The honor he had once received no longer seemed enough, and somewhere within the heart of heaven, a servant began to envy the king. Sin had not yet reached earth, but it had already entered creation, not through weakness, not through ignorance, but through pride. And pride rarely remains alone. It persuades, it influences, it recruits. Soon, others began listening. Angels who had once worshipped beside him, angels who had once served beside him, now drawn toward the brightest of heaven's creations. The rebellion had begun. The first division in heaven was forming. For the first time in eternity, heaven stood divided. One side remained loyal to the throne. The other followed Lucifer into rebellion. But heaven would not stand without a defender, a warrior, a prince, a servant whose loyalty never wavered. His name was Michael. For a moment, all of heaven held its breath, because what was about to happen had never happened before. There had never been rebellion. There had never been division. There had never been war. Then, it happened. War broke out in heaven. The unimaginable became reality. Creation's first conflict had begun. The battle spread across the heavenly realm. Light against rebellion. Truth against pride. Loyalty against self-exaltation. At the center of the conflict stood Michael, unmoved, unshaken, certain of who sat upon the throne. And still, Lucifer refused to yield. Pride rarely retreats willingly. It fights to the very end. The conflict surged across heaven, until at last, the rebellion reached its destination, the throne, the place Lucifer had desired from the beginning. And there, the rebellion meant something greater than armies, greater than angels, greater than power itself. No army defeated him, no angel dethroned him. The rebellion ended before the holiness of God. The war was over. The verdict had been given. And the greatest created being heaven had ever known was about to fall. The prophet Isaiah would later write, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?" The highest would become the lowest. The exalted would be brought down. Pride had reached its destination, and Lucifer fell, cast out, separated, banished. The glory he once walked among now disappeared behind him, forever. And he did not fall alone. Those who followed his rebellion shared his fate. The kingdom endured. The throne remained. The worship continued. But heaven would never again be exactly as it had been. The light bearer was gone. The anointed cherub was gone. And in his place emerged an adversary, a deceiver, an accuser, an enemy, Satan. And ages later, the Son of God himself would speak of that moment. "I beheld Satan fall from heaven like lightning." Pride does not begin with rebellion. It begins when we forget where our blessings come from. Lucifer's tragedy was not that he lacked greatness. His tragedy was believing that greatness belonged to him. And so the brightest angel fell, not because God failed him, but because he stopped bowing before the one who gave him everything. Another world waited, silent, unformed, unaware. A world that would one day become the home of mankind. For evil had not been destroyed, only displaced. and its gaze had already found a new target. But that is another story, because soon God would speak, and existence itself would answer. Light would pierce the darkness, stars would fill the heavens, life would cover the earth, and humanity would enter the story. Next time, the creation of the universe and totality of all existence. The Book of Genesis, Episode 1.